Cross-county showdown tonight features Abby Little and the Mansfield Christian Lady Flames looking to torch a rock-solid Lexington defense who carries in victories in 3 of their last 4. It's live and free girls high school soccer to kick off your Tuesday night, and it's only right here on the OH Report. Coming your way next.
There's a blood shortage and we came up to Dead Lover's Point at midnight on Friday the 13th.
Lame.
Guess I'm gonna waste all this blood by dying in a predictable horror movie way.
50% of Americans like watching blood get spilled in horror movies, but only 3% donate it. When was the last time you donated blood?
Number 1 receiver coming from the Shelby Whippets, Isaiah Ramsey.
He's caught our attention over here, and we're certainly going to keep an eye on the Willard flashes.
We will see you next week on the Stat Leaders, brought to you by Spencer of Mansfield.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Did you make the right decision about schooling this year?
Mansfield Christian School is designed to turn your questions into confidence. For 60 years, Mansfield Christian has partnered with families and churches to train our children in a biblical worldview. Every day, someone is shaping how your kids see the world. Now more than ever, you need to have confidence that the teachers, curriculum, and programs at your child's school are a match for your values.
For Christian families, our values are your values, and you can have confidence that you made the right decision at Mansfield Christian.
I'm Travis Big League Berardi. Catch me every week with my Country Roads rankings. We'll go over the small school top 10 football schools here in the area.
Evening, folks, and welcome inside of the Mechanics Bank pregame. Alongside Jesse Rider, my name is Brian Skowronski, and intriguing matchup tonight, Jesse. Two up-and-down teams, both really in need of a nice quality win tonight.
Absolutely. Two local teams who are just, I say, an interesting season so far with some of the results and the games they played locally. So it'd be kind of a fun match to see how they do against each other and how that works out for them.
For Lexington, really struggled to score all season long, just 11 goals in 10 matches, but they do have a very stingy defense. It keeps them in a lot of games and has certainly led them to victory here of late.
Yeah, you kind of get polar opposites today. You've got Lexington scored 11 and given up 19 goals. On the opposite side of that, you have Mansfield Christian, who's scored 50, but also given up 50 goals. So it is going to be an interesting game of kind of which one of those statistics proves to be more true tonight. Can Lexington not score, or can Mansfield Christian not give up a goal? It's going to be interesting to see how that kind of plays out a little bit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The 50 goals given up by Mansfield Christian, but they'll obviously let you back into a game with the 50 that they've allowed so far this year. So it's going to be just a matter of who can capitalize on the opposing defense. Certainly Lexington has been better, but have had a lot of problems finding the back of the net. All right, Jesse, Abby Little, the leading scorer for the last 3 seasons for Mansfield Christian. I mean, she's kind of the brush that paints the landscape around here. They're going to be looking for her to determine a lot of the action. Look for this young lady to be heavily involved tonight.
Absolutely. She's a phenomenal player and does well to just finish quality opportunities and create her own. So she's a fun player to watch, skilled with the ball, smart player, does well to kind of get her own shots off and just create good goal-scoring opportunities. So you talk about the stinginess of that Lexington defense. Certainly a lot of it's going to be keying in on eliminating where does Abby Little get the ball and how does she get the ball. And certainly if she does, they want to make it difficult for her.
Let's dive right into our keys to the match presented by Mechanics Bank. And for you, alert, alert, alert. What's that mean?
Absolutely. No, I think for Mansfield Christian, Lex is a team that doesn't score a lot of goals. You just have to be so alert defensively that you don't want to give away a cheap goal. You don't expect Lexington to probably come out here and score a lot of goals, and so you don't want to give them anything easy, any mistakes in the back, bad turnovers, just kind of a bad ball that allows them to get 1 or 2 goals. 1 or 2 goals might be enough for Lexington to win this game, and so you really just have to be alert all over the field. There's not bad giveaways, there's not bad turnovers, there's not unmarked players, and just really pay attention to all those little things to keep the game 0-0 until you're ready and able to score.
And I'm going with just be a big shot. Go ahead. I've seen Mansfield Christian a handful of times. They'll line up and they'll drive in shots from 30, 40 yards out. They've got some girls to do it. Why not? It's a slick surface out here. Anything can happen. Go ahead. Put some shots on frame. Keys for Lexington tonight. Just can't fall into the trap, right, Jesse?
Absolutely. And so Mansfield Christian defensively, they'll play a little bit of this kind of offsides trap and try and catch defenders or catch the attacking team just maybe sleeping a little bit, not quite ready. And so you just got to be aware of that. I think for Lexington, if you're aware of that, I think it allows just to have some fun offensively. When you play kind of that offsides trap, you're really dependent upon the referees making the right call, being in the right position to be able to do that. And so you take some of it out of your defensive hand. Good build-up already for Lexington, just seconds into the game. And Mansfield Christian will come out and make that save, but an early attempt right there.
So a great start here for Lexington, even though it doesn't really materialize in a shot, but at least getting deep into enemy territory. As we see the keeper go ahead and dive on it to end the threat.
Yeah, for Mansfield Christian, these are the giveaways you got to be careful on. She's going to be offsides here, I believe. Referee didn't see it. But these are the mistakes. You can't just keep giving the ball back to Lexington. Certainly they've struggled to score, but the more times you give them the ball, the more chances they're going to be able to create. So you really got to take care of the ball a little bit, kind of build into some quality chances, and be patient with the ball and not keep giving it away. And again, another opportunity for Lexington. Ball in the box. Let's see if they're able to make something of it.
Patterson brought it back to her right foot. Just wasn't able to rip off a shot. And we already talked about the woes so far this season scoring-wise for Lexington. And 2 great opportunities here early on, but it doesn't really even get them a shot on net.
Yeah, there's a good ball in for Mansfield Christian. The keeper does well to get off her line there. For Lexington, I think you look at their stats, and it's interesting. They have, their leading scorer is 3 goals at this point in the season. So I think it's one of those things you really got to clean up. Here's a chance for Abby Little to go forward. It's defended nicely by, it looks like Avery Coleman, I think.
Off the cross. Looks like another shot attempt here, but it sails wide for Mansfield Christian off the right foot of Elena Chase. So it'll set up a goal kick here for Lady Lex, but a lot of action here early on, Jesse, more than I was anticipating.
We're less than 2 minutes in, and both teams have had a near goal-scoring opportunity, so interesting to look at this point, but pretty careless with the ball so far from both teams. It's been, I think, more passes completed to the opposite team than the connecting team, but sometimes that's the way it starts. Another chance for Abby Little in the box. Aubrey Coleman does a good job to just track it down and just get it out of the box, but still going to be a long throw in for Mansfield Christian.
It's going to come from the near side. See a nice pack of fans here on board, and already the snow caps are out. I mean, it's the first week of fall, and I mean, Mother Nature decided, hey, it's here, and it's here to stay.
Absolutely. It happened quickly, for sure. But I feel like it was 80 degrees a couple days ago, and now I was bundled up in my training session earlier and still got some jackets and layers on. Abby Little again with the ball in the box. See if Mansfield Christian can maybe keep it and get a good shot off.
This one drilled into the back of Little, though, as Noelle Bear, who's been a scoring threat on the season for MC, but that time, little miscommunication with her teammate.
Yeah, I like the way Noelle plays. She plays with just a little bit of flair, just kind of has some fun with the ball, certainly skilled and crafty with the ball. But a little unfortunate there that I think that shot would have been on target, perhaps right at the keeper, but Abby Little with the deflection, which doesn't really help your cause at all.
This one's going to be deflected out of play here on the near side off of Adrian Clary.
You look at common opponents and try and read some of these scores, and certainly both teams, I believe, opened up with Ontario in much different fashion. Lexington scored first against Ontario, and there's a good chance for Lexington right now. It's a big save there. And end up losing 2-1. Mansfield Christian opened up with Ontario and lost 13-1. And
right.
Certainly, I think Mansfield Christian has certainly progressed since then and learned a lot since then. Of Mansfield Christian's 50 goals, I think 25 are against 3 local opponents. So it's kind of one of those interesting statistics where 13 to Ontario, 9 to Clear Fork, and I believe 3 to Madison. And that makes up half the goals scored on the year against them. So they've not done well against some of these local bigger schools this year.
0-3-1 on the season against Division II opponents as well. So MC, they've definitely taken care of business against the teams that they should, but when they've been tested against the bigger schools, and as you mentioned, some of the big Richland County squads from around the area, has not gone well here for the Lady Flames.
Yeah, and Mansfield Christian's the type of program where there are years where they can compete with the likes of Lexington and sometimes Madison and Ontario, and then there are years where it's just they just don't have the depth to kind of match up for the whole game. You'll see sequences where they've got high caliber players, but maybe not quite that level of team around the field. And this year, I think it's somewhere in between is where Mansfield Christian lands. There's certainly some high caliber players. I think they've got a pretty good team. They're just a little inconsistent in terms of results and games and how that plays out for them.
Mansfield Christian on the season, 5 victories. Lexington's got 4, 3 of those coming in their last 4 matches, as they've started to turn the corner a little bit. A lot of ties on the schedule, Jesse, and a couple of scoreless affairs.
Yeah, Lexington, when you're so good defensively, it allows you just to stay in games, and so they always have a chance in some of these games. Their struggle has been scoring some of the big goals they need to score in games that they can be scoring. That's a good ball in there. See if Lexington gets some numbers in the box. And so you look at their scoreline, I think only twice really, just going to be whistled for offsides, only twice really was there a pretty considerable blowout. One to Olentangy Lewis Center, who's one of the best teams in Division I in the state of Ohio, and one to New Philadelphia, who's kind of an unsung, I'll say semi-local team. I think they're going to end up winning the conference, and
wow.
We don't know a lot about them, but certainly they have done quite well this year.
New Philly, of course, a newcomer this season to the Ohio Cardinal Conference, where Lexington plays their league games. So, yeah, welcome to the OCC, New Philly.
Mansfield Christian, one of the remaining schools who will have a conference tournament at the end of the year to kind of determine who's going to be their conference tournament champion. Another offsides there. This is the frustrating part. Mansfield Christian does well to keep that line high and tight, and so you really have to be alert on the outside. It's going to be close every time, and you're going to feel like you're onside a lot of the time, but it could just be a matter of inches or feet, and the referee's right on that line so far.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The back line for Mansfield Christian plays a little bit higher than most teams that I've seen so far this season, and it can lead to a lot of offsides calls, so frustration certainly can set in, and maybe especially for a team that averages just 1 goal per contest as Lexington does, but good opportunity here with the setup, and it's going to sneak through, and Lex just misses. Wow, what a great look.
If that isn't probably just the description of the Lexington season so far, the buildup was there. They have a chance, and just not quite enough to put it in the back of the net. It's sitting right there. Keeper doesn't make a play on it, and it just ends up being a goal kick, which really should have been a goal to make this game 1-0 Lex.
Second shot so far for Lady Lex, and Arnholt, just a crazy good look, and obviously you want to put those ones away.
There's a good counter the other way by Mansfield Christian. See if they can do well to kind of keep the ball and find Abby. It's going to be off of Coleman for a Mansfield Christian throw-in.
Lady Flames taking their time, looking to get something set up here. Bear chucks it into the 18. It squirts out. Was at Little's feet, but now Lady Lex looking to clear. That one's going to be intercepted that time by McFadden. But back and forth we go. Quite a few giveaways here over the last minute or so. Another chance for Arnholt. And she's going to rip one from distance. Saved out of bounds. So corner kick number 2 on the way for Lady Lex. I like it. Testing the keeper here.
Absolutely. And McKenna Arnold makes the right. She sees, I can't tell the number, but sees her teammate is offsides on that run and decides to keep it herself, and then just has a shot at goal there. Forces the keeper into a tough save. And keeper has done well so far to keep the ball to the back of the net. Lexington is getting some quality chances right now. You think that they're bound to get one at this rate. I know they've only scored 11 on the year, but the quality of chances they're getting in right now are certainly ones they have to like.
Coleman comes up looking to keep it in the attacking third, and she's got some space. Dribbles her way into a one-on-one with the keeper and blasts it wide yet again.
Yeah, I don't believe she's scored yet this season, but certainly that has every makings of that should have been her first of the year. Here's what you tell all the young players right now. It's back post all the way. There's no need for power there. Anything on goal will do. And she does not. She puts it high and wide, and it's a goal kick instead. But Lex is still in the attack somehow.
Lady Flames having trouble clearing. Now they'll gain possession. And this is typically where they're great. Through the midfield, controlling the ball, finding feet. As Little regains the ball back. Very slippery conditions out there. I walked the field just a little bit. A lot of rain came through the area yesterday. Got a little drizzle today in the Mansfield area as well. So the conditions, not ideal. They played a JV game before this as well, Jesse. So I'm thinking we're going to see more of that.
Yeah, you just saw a couple players just wipe out pretty consistently and consecutively there. You can look at the field and see some pretty choppy spots already. And we are just 10 minutes into the varsity match here. So could make for a long night for the field. It's certainly seen some better days with the weather and the frequency of use, but nonetheless, both teams have to play on it, so not necessarily an advantage for either team. Big shot, and it's going to go big wide is what that one went.
That one's soaring over the top of frame. Another look on the Park National Bank replay, and just nowhere close.
Yeah, certainly nothing wrong with the idea of the shot, but just kind of scoops under it and lifts it up and out, and you just kind of want to strike through that with your laces and see if you can maybe put on the back post. You always just want to force keepers to make saves, and we've seen a couple opportunities that have not resulted in even shots on goal. I think people just going for power more than placement. And yeah, and that's going to be the part where footing kind of sets in is some of these goal kicks and free kicks you run up, and if your plant foot footing is off, it really makes for a tough ball to play in. You find yourself slipping or kind of just twisting as you're hitting it. I think you see that there. Typically you don't want to put that goal kick right where she did. And
there's Bear with a deep chuck into the 18, right at the feet of a Lady Lex defender, and they're able to get it out of harm's way, at least for now. Now Olivia Workman, one of the captains, sends it forward here for Patterson.
Yeah, I like the way Olivia plays the game. Just a hard worker, just finds herself near the ball offensively or defensively. Wherever the ball's out on the field, she's just near it all the time.
This one driven in low, right into the hands of Heininger. It's been pretty solid so far on the season, despite the 50 goals given up. I like the way she plays. Very aggressive player. Say what's up to Renee. I know she's at home recovering. Had a chance to interview Abby, I think the day that her mom had surgery, and just want to send some thoughts out to her mom, Renee.
There's a good move by Olivia Workman to get in the box here. Lex has got some numbers as well. Not a great ball in. Not a great clear either, though.
So Lex staying up here, but now it squirts away to Abby. She's got a lot of green in front.
Yeah, Noelle did well to work back there and win the ball, and then found the counter. I think it might have been offsides in the buildup anyways, but just that ball has to go anywhere beyond that defender, and it's going to be a good opportunity. There's Arnholt. That's the right ball in this time. She is going to be on.
Here comes Jocelyn chasing it down. Looked like she was going to set up for a big shot. Now tried to bring it back in, deflected out of bounds by Klotzbach. And another corner coming up for Lex.
Yeah, I think one of the things I see with his attacking from Lex is you got to be able to go to your left a little bit. They keep cutting back into that right and cutting right back into the defender there. I think you just got to go to your left and just drive at the goal a little bit. Give yourself a chance in front of the goal. I mean, they still get a corner out of it, but I think there was a quality opportunity missed again for Lex, and that's kind of been the nature of this season so far. It's just missed opportunities. Good opportunities, good looks. Case in point right here. Ball bouncing in the box. Coleman again. And it's a miscommunication from Mansfield Christian. Again, they're winning the ball, but just if they can't find Abby in the middle to get out of there, they're not getting out of there.
Now they'll send it forward, trying to get it to Little in space. Instead, it's deflected. And Coleman elects just to drive this one out of play, so it's going to be a throw in here near side for Mansfield Christian.
A pretty even matchup so far. I think both teams are getting a couple of chances. Lexington probably certainly more frequent. That's a great ball in. She does well to come off her line to make the save there. That's a big play. That was a good, just kind of outside of the foot touch, just kind of keep it going forward, and keeper does well to come out and make a big save.
Lexington keeping the pressure on right now. Good looking move right there by Arnholt. And Heininger has to go down to make another stop.
Another good shot, good play by Lexington. Just, as we've said, just not the goal you want. It's a good move to get it back on her right foot. She strikes it well. It is in the middle, still not much of a out of bounds for a throw in there, but right at the keeper's hands. It's high, forces into a little bit of a save, but doesn't have to move her too much.
This one crossed into the middle. Arnholt deflected it, but then knocked out of harm's way there by McFadden. Now a chance for a counterattack. Build up on the way here for the Lady Flames. And that one just does thread through for Little left foot. Just not a lot of pace behind it and pretty much right at the keeper.
You can see the frustration on Abby there. That's one she'd like to have back. Certainly she prefers her right foot, but the ball settled onto her left foot nicely. Does well to keep it on goal, force the keeper into a tough save. We'll say Schroeder does well to get down and keep this clean. It's probably a little tighter than it looked initially, but that's a good play by Mansfield Christian, kind of a good counterattack in. It's caught the Lexington defenders by surprise. For talking about a team that's only given up 19 goals on the season, there's been a few breakdowns early on here against Mansfield Christian.
Possession up for grabs. Lady Flames gain possession. Working it through the near side now with Clary, but she gives it away.
Yeah, there's been some bad defensive giveaways for Mansfield Christian that have led to some easy opportunities for Lexington. Fortunate to be 0-0. Good to see the skill and composure of Abby Little there. Just collect the ball in the middle of the field, heads up, and finds the next play in.
Game,
yeah, you're
like
right.
Ping pong.
Absolutely, that's what I was going for as well. Not a lot of just. There's going to be an opportunity for Lexington there. Going to get some numbers forward, 2-on-1. Plays an early offsides cross. Referee's going to allow it.
Yeah, that was clearly offsides that time by Allie Parker, but you're right. If the referee doesn't blow the whistle, it doesn't matter, and MC kind of lucky to survive this.
Yeah, I feel like that's been the case a couple times. Lexington has certainly had the opportunities they've wanted multiple times, but just no goals to show for it 16 minutes in. On the flip side, Mansfield Christian has had at least 2 quality looks as well. I feel like Lexington is just getting more and more dangerous as we get going here, but it's a good ball in by Abby Little. Some space to go forward. It's a tough ball in. You got to get away from the keeper a little bit, but it ended up on her left foot. She tries to just force it across, but right at the feet of the keeper.
Third shot on frame for Mansfield Christian. Lady Lex has 4 and looking to get another one here. They will. But this one from way downtown from McKenna.
Not sure if she was good. I think she saw the keeper might have been off her line a little bit, maybe going for a chip. You can see her approach isn't quite what a normal shot would have been. So I'm not sure going for a chip or maybe just trying a misdirection there. Probably not the look they wanted.
Good bit of skill there from Kaylee Brown.
Grace Rader does well just to keep pressure there and not make it easy.
Now the freshman Borowitz through traffic, finds Brown, sends it ahead. Oh, what a setup. But it's the shot, Jesse. Boy, are they just not getting them down.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. And there's really no reason for it at this point. I mean, the ball's at your feet and the left foot. You know, you're in the box there and just chipping at it. A lot of it's technique so far. Technique and decision making. Just watching Lexington just kind of kick at the ball and not really kick through the ball, and obviously not resulting in a goal because of it, but there's a couple opportunities they've just kind of literally kicked away.
Defender falls down, shot, and another save by Abigail.
She's certainly got her workout in tonight. Defensively for Mansfield Christian, you can see why they've given up 50 goals so far. I mean, they struggle to clear the ball out effectively, and when they don't, Lexington is just back in the attack so fast. So I think part of it is just a little bit of the decision-making defensively. It goes right back to Lexington. Mansfield Christian will win the ball, and if it's not right to Mansfield Christian, Lexington's back in the attack within seconds.
Workman off the throw-in, finds Parker. Turns into some trouble. Able to somehow get through there.
You know, half of the finishing is a mental game of just being able to make the decision of, you know, what do you want to do with the ball? And I think a lot of Lexington, I think you feel that pressure when you know you've only scored 11 goals on the year and you're getting good opportunities and you find yourself just kicking at the ball. It's a good touch by Zoe to keep it in play.
Lady Flames can't clear, and another shot that's going to sail wide, this time from Borowitz.
Yeah, it's a play like that. I mean, certainly she does well to kind of get the attempt off, but there's no technique, there's no idea of where to put it. You know, just, again, kind of kicking at the ball. I think you just got to drive that ball to the back post, force the keeper to make a save. Anything deflected is right at the feet of Lexington. So it's just got to be on goal, and I think a lot of it is just the inability to make a decision of where do you want to put the ball when you get the ball in the attacking area.
Seen Coleman on a couple occasions make that same play so far. There's Aaron Hope, who just checked in, makes the dish, and Lady Flames reversing field, now getting it to Little in the middle. Aaron,
good play.
Yeah, great give and go, but even better defense. Catching up that time was Chambers.
Yeah, that's the spot right over there. We've seen quite a few players just go down with it. You can see Olivia Workman just kind of sliding through it to win the ball there.
Another look. That's how close Mansfield Christian was to getting a one-on-one for what I got to assume. Jesse, do you know who the all-time leading scorer is for Mansfield Christian? Is it Abby? She's got to be in the conversation.
Oh, that's a great shot.
Oh, wow.
Great goal.
And adding to her totals right there. That's career number 76 for Abby Little. Big time.
No, I don't know if I've got a few guesses. I'm thinking they probably have someone who's close to 100. I think, you know, there's a Josie Biddle, Sarah Packard. Those girls probably had 4 years of scoring 15, 20 goals or more. That's a big goal, though. I mean, that's a good play. Certainly Lexington has had a lot of chances, but Abby Little just kind of took over, find the shot that she wanted, and she does what Lexington has not done and just buries it in the back of the net.
Lady Lex looking to respond here, as they've got nice build-up so far off the first touch. Second time we've seen them get in the attacking third within a matter of seconds. But this time, Mansfield Christian prepared.
A bit of a miscommunication there. Mansfield Christian was running away and didn't quite realize that. Is she on? I don't think she is. Referee had his hand to his mouth anyways. I think he was going to call it offsides.
Ball's going to leak its way here to Parker in the middle of the field. She zips it out wide. Got Morton chasing it down. She was able to keep it in play, but right to a Lady Flame.
And that's the turnover right there. That's just been a little bit of a downfall there for Mansfield Christian, but they do come back away with it. Lex kind of returned the favor to them. There's some numbers going for Mansfield Christian now. Let's see if they're able to find Abby Little in the box. She's unmarked right now. It's a tough ball in, but Abby Little certainly was getting forward, had a chance, and just couldn't find her.
As Grace Rader just could not get any sriracha behind that cross. As a little windy down on the field. You see the flag blowing out here, and one of the neat venues, I think, for soccer in the area. Well, where else can you have a bonfire at a soccer match, as they got one going on tonight? As that's driven in low. Decent contact there from Arnholm, but again, the keeper is there.
Yeah, a bit of a tough ball to kind of step in and make a play on it. You find yourself just kind of swinging at that. A lot of pressure, a lot of angles there.
Yeah, beautiful find of feet, though, in traffic. Certainly like the setup. It's been the final touch, the finish, that's been problematic so far for Lady Lex. Not just tonight, all season long, folks. Big ball through the middle.
That's a good ball in. Kind of stretch the defenders out, force them to communicate who's going to get it defensively or the keeper. Comes a slew of substitutions for both teams.
Three players in some white crispy jerseys checking in. Mansfield Christian with one sub.
Yeah, Mara Berry, who's back in the game, who's probably the third leading scorer on the team. I believe she's a nice player as well. And certainly we talked about the big two scorers, but her effort, and she's kind of got a nose for the goal as well. So getting her back into the mix there. Lexington kind of suffering that same fate of just not getting the ball out into a good area. Again, right back to Mansfield Christian. Good little combination play. Get some numbers, 3-on-3. Found the fourth wide player there, and a bit of a hurried shot right at the keeper again.
Yeah, skips into the hands of Abigail, who's done well so far tonight. 7 saves already. This one at least kept down on frame. So at least forcing the keeper into a save opportunity. So that one's going to sneak through for Barry. Strong physical player. He's definitely had to fight through a couple of injuries the last 2 seasons. See her wearing the knee brace.
It's a good touch in the middle there, but Lex comes away with a second touch. You know, part of playing the high line is you got to have a keeper who can come off her line as well. And so far, she's done what she's been asked to do. I mean, she's made the save she's been asked to make. She's been in the right place. She's come off her line well. And that's why Mansfield Christian's winning right now. It's just because of, I think, heads up defensively, heads up keeping play. I'd say a little bit of luck. You know, certainly Lexington has had some opportunities, and I wouldn't say it was the defensive effort that kept the goals out, but
that one had a little bit of backspin on the shot there from Aaron.
Yeah, good build-up. I'm wondering if it might have been a foul. No, she clearly wins the ball, I guess. Just kind of just kicking at it again a little bit. You know, it's one of those you got to step into your laces and just strike the ball. I don't see a lot of just confidence in the striking ability of a lot of the players right now. I think a lot of you just kind of kicking at it and just trying to see what happens. At this level, you really got to step into it and see, you know, you can put that ball where, or you should be able to put that ball wherever you want to put it. I haven't really seen that confidence and ability yet from either team outside of Abby, obviously.
Quick throw in. Now the Flames looking to send bodies forward. I think that one was intended for Abby. Had a little too much sauce behind it. Now Bear pushes it out wide. Too far, though, for Grace Rader as it rolls out of bounds. And Lex with an opportunity to get in a quick sub here as Allie Parker checks out. And you see all of the fans camped out here on the sideline. Get to bring your own chairs at Mansfield Christian. Not a lot of venues that allow this. Be right up on the action. One of the best tickets in town.
Yeah, it certainly is a unique feel here. You know, you have a tree line kind of backdrop. You know, obviously I've spent a lot of games and hours and days here. You know, kind of a unique built-in forest locker room behind the home team side down there. You'll go down the hill a little bit, and there's stumps and kind of the all-natural locker room, if you will.
Yeah.
More so for team talks, not really for much more than that, but certainly it's kind of just it's just unique. And there's not a lot in the area or even in the state quite like this setting. So certainly a special field here and special complex.
Nice couple of passes to get it down here. Somehow that one got through, but the shot into the hands of the keeper again, who comes through. Save number 8.
Again, right at her. I mean, she's doing her job. Her positioning is great, but they're not really tested. She's not had to make maybe 1 or 2 saves, or she's had to move her body to even get the ball after it's been shot. So good build up by Little to keep the ball in play here.
Now Clary sets it up. Barry. Abby allows that one to float back here to Hope. Little overlap here by Mara, looking for some options.
See a good battle on the outside, just trying to win the ball, keep possession. I think Mansfield Christian's kind of settled down a little bit with their, when they get the ball forward, they don't give the ball away near as much as they do defensively. You know, I think they're a little more conscientious of where they want to get the ball, and a lot of that goes to Abby Little, but you can see it's just a different style of play. Defensively, it's more of just kind of get it away from the area, which oftentimes has gone back to Lexington. But when they get it forward, they're making the right play. Their heads are up. They're kind of connecting on some passes there.
It's going to be an MC throw-in on the way here from Noel.
Nice long throw from Noel as well. Kind of stretches the game out a little bit.
Now Lex from the middle, evading the pressure. Good ball down the wing. See if they can turn this into anything. As here comes Stutz with the cross, drives it in, deflected, but still available. And the shot,
my goodness,
just wide here from Emily Thomas.
It's nearly comical at how close they get. Certainly not for them, but I mean, they're getting the opportunities. The ball is right, kind of sits nice for her anyways, and just wide.
Oof.
Just wide of the goal. It's just, the chances are there. The finishing is not.
That's about the closest look I think they've had so far. That one inches away from finding its way into the back of the net. And Lexington, for as much as they have struggled offensively, not being able to capitalize, but they've got 14 shots so far, Jesse, 9 of those on target.
Yeah, you know, I've not seen a lot of their games. I know certainly against Clear Fork they had a few chances that were definitely outshot by Clear Fork, but tied 0-0. I think Ontario they had some chances, but here they're getting their chances. It's just not resulting in a goal.
Mansfield Christian with a quick throw here into Noel. Just going to drive it into the center of the park. Coleman waiting on it. A lot of pressure from Little, and she loses her balance.
Yeah, that middle part of the field right there, kind of that middle third, right in the attacking third for Mansfield Christian, has proved to be somewhat problematic just for keeping your footing, let alone trying to do anything else with the ball. We've seen that's probably the 6th girl we've seen kind of go down without contact. Just,
sure.
It's kind of fun. You just hope it results in people get able to get back up and not getting hurt or anything.
Aubrey with a big clear.
Right in line to her player. That was pretty impressive. Intentional or not, I don't know, but that was timed out nicely.
Stutz, the miss, but the rebound is there. Lexington gets on the board off the second effort, and it's Emily Thomas with the equalizer.
Yeah, and that's the type of play that I think we've not seen them execute on, where they forced the keeper into a tough save. They made the keeper make a save, not just put it wide of the keeper, not put it wide of the goal, but, does well, just forces the keeper. Maybe could have kept it a little bit. Certainly it's wet, it's muddy, it's slippery out there, so it's a tough ball to keep clean. But the pressure from Emily Thomas is right. Just follow it up because you never know what's going to happen. And what happened was she gets rewarded with a goal.
I think Aubrey Coleman should definitely get the assist on that one. I mean, that was right on the money, in stride for Stutz.
I was near making a comment of how she just kind of has this propensity to just kind of hit the ball hard regardless of where people, but that hit her player in stride, right in line. I mean, she kept her run going, and it was a smooth-looking play. I'll credit to the intentionality of it and leave it at that.
Here's Aubrey with another opportunity. This one just gets past her teammate, so Aaron Hope. See if they give it back to her. A lot of patience being shown right here by Mansfield Christian. Until
good ball, that's on goal.
Deep shot.
And Noelle, so her mom is the coach, and I don't think mom loved the shot, but I don't think Noelle didn't mind it. So she kind of shrugged to her mom and said, why not? Let's just see. And If it's once in a while, I think that's okay. Certainly, I mean, it went right to the keeper, but it was on goal. You never know on a night like tonight, and I wouldn't get in that habit of hitting that ball every time, but I like it.
Couple deflections now. Just mismeasured, trying to get it a little in stride. And this one, too much. It'll roll out of bounds. Mansfield Christian maintaining possession.
Good idea of a ball in there. Mansfield Christian keeping their pressure, might win it back. Here's the one bad part about this complex is that sometimes that ball won't stop and just goes down the hill. What is sometimes a creek, a ravine. You never know what's down there, especially late at night. And so those poor ball boys really have to,
they earn their
they earn
you know?
their hot dog. It is a well-earned hot dog around here.
No question.
Love the complex here, but that always makes for an interesting time, especially late in the game when the ball's just been played out consecutively out of there. You run out of balls because they're all down there somewhere. Ooh, that ball was bouncing around there. Near chance for Mansfield Christian again.
Yeah, good looking flick on the header there from Little to put it right in the middle. And they're going to keep it.
That's a bad giveaway by Abby there, just kind of right at the feet of Olivia Workman. Mansfield Christian nearly forced to just kind of play that out. Not much else you could do there unless you have to play it back to your keeper. You know, it's tough to, on a night like tonight, to kind of get your keeper involved with their feet. I mean, we've seen so many players just slip, you know, without contact, without pressure, just, you know, trying to make one cut or one move. And so it's a little riskier tonight playing your keeper than it would be on a normal night.
3 substitutions checking in here for Lexington. And now Coleman,
who I believe has a big throw. Doesn't go super far. Looks like it might have been a designed flick, but she was the last player, so just going to chase it out for her own goal kick.
Take a quick opportunity to thank all of our generous sponsors for bringing you tonight's broadcast live and free, including Mechanics Bank, That's Better, Coney Island Diner, Mansfield, Ohio's oldest operating restaurant, located at 98 North Main Street in the heart of downtown, Mansfield Christian Schools, home, church, school, we are better together. And Charter Next Gen, hiring for high-paying jobs in a cutting-edge environment.
Mansfield Christian's kind of cleaned up a little bit defensively since giving up that goal. You don't see, you know, quite the space that they had on the wings. You know, Lexington just kind of kept attacking on that outside there and was getting some good looks to get into the goal box. And Mansfield Christian's tightened up a little bit. And the transition play is what's going to be effective. If they can get out of the back and into the attack, that is effective for Mansfield Christian. But a lot of that goes through Abby Little, who wins the ball in the middle but proceeds to play right to the center back for Lexington.
Flames are going to be able to keep it in play here.
Good composure by Mansfield Christian not to give that ball away. There's a lot of players who are just going to kick it out of bounds or kick it hard. And you know, they're the type of team, they want the ball. They're not going to just kind of give you a free throw in or a free ball. And so far, I think a little bit of miscommunication by Lexington, but I like the way this Mansfield Christian team plays. I think there's a few defensive breakdowns that could be costly in big games. Certainly we talk about tournament times coming up, and you know, Mansfield Christian has a pretty tough sectional. We've talked about how tough the Lex sectional is, and Mansfield Christian has a pretty tough sectional in their own right. And so a game like this, certainly it's that local flair. You want to beat a local opponent, but also you're starting to prep for tournaments at this time of the year. And kind of right when that weather changes, it's about time to kind of start gearing for tournaments.
You see it's already dark here before half, so certainly fall has set in full force in north central Ohio as temperatures cooled off. We're, I believe, in the upper 50s here tonight, Jesse. Very cold out here. A lot of the fans got their winter jackets already dusted off and out and getting good use.
Yeah, upper 50s might be generous. Oh, a little bit of contact all over there. I'm not sure. Referee's not seen enough. Thought Aubrey Coleman did a good job to step in front and just kind of not let Abby Little have a straight line to the ball, and then the keeper kind of came out. A little contact kind of all over the play. Here you see the replay. Nice ball floated in. See Aubrey Coleman, it's not much there and not much any of that, just contact.
So sub 5 minutes to go here before the break. All square at 1 apiece. Goals by Thomas and Abby Little so far.
This is the attack. Mansfield Christian got to be careful. If Lex gets the ball in the corner, they send some numbers into the box. I don't think it's going to be. It's going to be a goal kick. I thought it might have deflected off of Mansfield Christian, but it's going to be a goal kick for Mansfield Christian.
So solid defense that time by the Flames, forcing Lexington to bring in the ball out wide.
Interesting conversation. The referee was having a semi-heated conversation with Buck Morton, the Lexington coach, but in the midst of that did not get the Lexington subs in. That ball appeared to be over the line, but the referee was kind of behind a little bit, and we're going to play on. Ooh, it's a little contact again.
Just outside the box, so it's going to set up a direct kick from 19 yards out.
Here's what's tough. Certainly there's contact, but I think she slips more than a foul, but there is contact that takes her down. So I'd say by definition it's a foul. I think on another surface you don't get that call. You probably don't get that fall either, but what a dangerous free kick here for Lexington.
It looks like a 7-lady wall set up here by the Flames. That one's driven over the top, but it's going to be out of bounds for a goal kick.
Looks like Mansfield Christian set their wall up about 12 yards away rather than 10, and maybe the only team in the area who sets a wall up farther away. You try and go closer and make the referee count it back, and generous, very generous.
Are you allowed to have as many players as you want in a wall?
Absolutely. At some point, there's players open around the wall then, which is what you got to be careful of in a ball like there, but Lex was thinking shot all the way on that play. Not much you can do with that ball. She just kind of taps it out of bounds. You'd like to see her maybe just hit the ball a little bit harder, a little bit farther downfield. Make it a little farther throw in.
Oh, somehow, some way brought back to the left foot. Arnholt finally gets a goal after having several quality looks this time. Kaching cashes it in.
Yeah, you'll see on the replay here, it's just really just individual effort. The ball just kind of stays with her, deflects off the defender. Mansfield Christian a little slow to recover. A good cut move. Just puts it over the keeper's head there. And 2-1 Lexington, kind of a tough goal to give up right before half when you feel like Mansfield Christian has done well. They would love to go in with a 1-1 tie. They had a lot of solid chances, and now it's 2-1 Lex, and that momentum pendulum continues to swing, and it favors Lexington right now.
Lexington's season high in a game, of course. Just 2 goals, Jesse, so this is the most they've done so far.
It's a shootout tonight. Look out. Good battle on the sideline there. Olivia Workman not able to keep it in play.
Falls right at the feet a little. Turns. Dishes it out wide. And Lex content just to smack it out.
Yeah, just under 2 minutes to go. You certainly don't want to concede a goal right now in this setting. You know, you've done well to kind of battle back. You're down 1-0, and that's a dangerous ball. And it's going to result in a corner with about 90 seconds to go. So Mansfield Christian's going to at least get a nice attempt at goal to finish out the half here. I don't believe we've seen them on a corner kick play yet.
First one of the match.
You think with a player like Noelle and Abby that they'll have something special here. And you can see Abby broke free of the defender right away. Oh, the ball is just a little in front of her. That was the right play all along. Abby's defender got caught just a little flat foot, and Abby ran right by. The idea was right. The final ball was just a little off. And here's what I'm talking about. Though we have ran out of balls. We have to go get one from the other side of the field. The tree line. Pros and cons.
So a big throw-in coming up. Bear able to get it all the way into the box. Little with the header.
What a fortunate bounce for Mansfield Christian. I couldn't tell if the first player was able to flick it on or just a generous bounce, but Abby Little does what Abby Little does and scores her second of the night.
So we are all square. 2 goals in the final 2.5 minutes here of the first half. And you were talking about what a game changer it can be on the short time. How about answering just like that and how the momentum, the pendulum, right back on the other side.
Absolutely. Right back with Mansfield Christian now. I don't believe it was touched on the throw, and I think it just kind of took a very generous Mansfield Christian bounce. And Abby Little, right place, right time, right finish. And what a way to end the second half. We saw about 25 minutes of near goals, and the last 5 minutes resulted in 2.
And now Abby Little on the season. What's she got, like 16 goals?
Yeah, certainly an impressive and fun player. A chance for another if Lex doesn't clear this out effectively.
Down to 30 seconds to go. Lex clears it out momentarily. And now they'll send a deep one. Workman, though, off the chest.
What a touch by Arnholt. 20 seconds left. She might be able to get a shot off here. She does at the keeper. It's saved. What a final 2 minutes of just back and forth, goal, and a near goal to finish out the half with just under 10 seconds left. Arnholt gets it onto her left, but puts it right at the feet of the keeper.
So that's going to take us to the end of a very exciting first half, all square at 2 goals apiece. Abby Little with both goals so far for Mansfield Christian, and she is going to be part of our topic tonight, Jesse, for our trivia question.
Okay.
We'll have that for you guys at the half, along with our stats and analysis, and get you ready for half number 2. So keep it here. It's live and free and only on the OH Report. Tuesday night, ladies soccer. Where else would you rather be?
Going to cheerleading camp next to the abandoned insane asylum, it's like throwing your blood away.
50% of Americans like when blood gets spilled in horror movies, but only 3% donate it.
Now that's scary. Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Did you make the right decision about schooling this year?
Mansfield Christian School is designed to turn your questions into confidence. For 60 years, Mansfield Christian has partnered with families and churches to train our children in a biblical worldview. Every day, someone is shaping how your kids see the world. Now more than ever, you need to have confidence that the teachers, curriculum, and programs at your child's school are a match for your values.
For Christian families, our values are your values, and you can have confidence that you made the right decision at Mansfield Christian.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
It's halftime here at Comstock Field. I'm Brian. That's Jesse. And fun match, man. I mean, it started right away with some juice. Lexington, who's only averaging about a goal per session, they drive it right down. They get some quality looks. They get a late goal. Abby Little matches it. There's been a lot of back and forth. This has been an exciting Richland County match so far.
Absolutely. It's been even. There's been opportunities at both ends of the field. You know, I think there's been a lot of giveaways that kind of led to some of those opportunities, but it's been fun. It's been fun to kind of watch. It's fun to watch a player like Abby Little play. I mean, she is a phenomenal player. I got 2 goals to show for it. And Lexington, I see the frustration. You can just kind of sense that their buildup has been good, that the quality of chances has been good. It's just the finishing for about the first probably 20, 25 minutes of this match was subpar. And then I think they got one and felt a little bit that pressure relieved, and then they got a second and got a little momentum swing, and just a big goal to end the half for Abby Little and Mansfield Christian to tie it up 2-2 to go into this second half.
Yeah, let's dive into these halftime stats and show you exactly what we mean in terms of the frustration. These brought to you by Mechanics Bank, and man, look at all those shots, Jesse. 12 of them on goal too. But it's those 7, really, in my opinion, that were heartbreaking. At least 3 or 4 of them. I mean, they had 2 one-on-ones with the keeper where you don't want to say they blew it, but they kind of blew it.
Man, that chance that Aubrey Coleman had, I can still visualize that in my mind. I mean, she did well to get into that position. You know, she beat a defender, kept the ball, got the ball to her feet, and then just rips it as hard as she can into the side of the net. And if they get anywhere but there on that goal is going to be a goal. And just didn't think placement at all, just went for pure power. And I think there is a little bit of that decision-making I've seen that I think when you feel the pressure of only scoring 11 goals on the year, you feel like you have to get a shot off. Well, it's not so much just the shot, it's the quality of shot, and then also it's how do you shoot the ball and where do you want it to go. And I think there's a little bit of a mental mindset. You know, your mind kind of plays games with you a little bit when you struggle to score and you try to maybe overcompensate or overhit or just try and do whatever you can when a lot of it's just mental. Can you just put the ball where you need to put the ball?
Taking a look at some of the goals here from the first half, and that was the first one from Abby. The answer here from Lexington, and it comes off the rebound. Thomas, right place, right time. And then the 2 short-time goals. Arnholt's pretty spectacular, really. Abby's, you could say as well. And this is just an individual effort all the way. She's triple-teamed here, Jesse, and still makes it happen.
Yeah, certainly not a great defensive effort by Mansfield Christian. You know, it's just individual effort by McKenna Arnholt to get the ball, to get the shot off, and to put it in. And this to finish out the half right here. A generous bounce right there, right to the head of Abby Little, who does well to just head it over the keeper, back of the net, and to make it 2-2 to go into the second half.
We've got a special guest for you on our halftime report as well. Former coach here at Mansfield Christian, Ben Stauffer, going to take over the mic and hang out with you, Jesse.
Absolutely.
I'll hand it off.
Ben and I have spent a lot of years, a lot of days at this field together, but not so much on this side of the field for us. Normally we were on the other side, and I was telling Brian earlier about the secret locker room down in the tree line down there that not a lot of people know about. But it's good to have you here. It's good to see you again. So what do you think of this first half so far?
Oh, wow. It's been an incredibly exciting half, and it's been up and down. Both teams with several chances that they wish they probably had back. But, yeah, certainly, and you know what, to end with the last 2.5 minutes with those shots, it's a fun, as a fan, just to watch the game. That's exciting.
Absolutely. You know, you and I spent a lot of years coaching together. I think you were here for about 11 years, if I'm not mistaken, coaching the varsity boys here. When you look back at all the years that you've spent on the other side of this field, what's a story or a memory that comes to mind you'd love to share with our audience tonight?
Oh, well, there's a lot of memories, and to be honest, it's the people first that I remember the most. I think what probably signifies the most, though, is a game. It might have been one of my last years. We were at Berlin Highland. There was a lightning delay. Everyone has to go into the locker rooms, and they were both 2 state-ranked teams, and we're all excited. It's a tense game, 1-goal game probably. The Highland Hawks were in one side, and you could tell it was all quiet and serious. And all of a sudden, on our side, the whole team starts shouting out loud, Carly Rae Jepsen's "Call Me Maybe," and led by Nate Paul, and the entire team was just loose. And I thought, you have to stop and remember, these are high school athletes, and who knows what happened, during their school day. And I think that makes it for a lot of fun with working with these kids. And so, yeah, that's one of my memories that it still sticks with. this is high school athletics.
Absolutely.
It is sports for them. They're
that
loose.
might not be the most intimidating song I've ever heard, or
No,
a group of guys
it's a
ever sing it, but you're
teenage
absolutely
ballad.
right. It's fun, it's just camaraderie, and some of those lightning delays, although annoying for the sake of the game, are some of the best memories when you just got to pass time together and you got to figure out what to do, and sometimes it results in singing some weird teenage pop, I guess. So.
Yes, and so I think it's moments like those that bring the guys together a lot.
Yeah, so you're back at Mansfield Christian. Now, what's something exciting going on at the Mansfield Christian School? What are some things that are happening here?
Well, again, I just moved back. It's been 9 years since I was in Florida, and coming back here and realizing all that was happening here. Just in the last year, the purchase of a whole bunch of acres just east of us and a new east campus. 40% increase in enrollment in the last 3 years.
Wow.
So numbers have definitely gone up, and we've got 2 big construction projects with the gym entrance, which we were waiting on for a while, and then start to at the entrance of the school a new kind of foyer for making it safer as well for the kids. And so I just think it's really exciting what all is happening here at the school, and you can tell the excitement just even being back.
Absolutely. Well, if you're just tuning in, this is Ben Stauffer, former boys varsity coach here, who is just making his return back to the school here and talking a little bit about soccer and life and school here. So we're so glad you stopped up and said hello. It's good to see you. It's good to have you back here. And our second half is back and underway, and we have got a fun second half. So we have just kind of kicked off here. 2-2 to start the second half. It's been back and forth all first half, Brian, and we saw a lot of different action, a lot of different goal-scoring opportunities for both teams. Really kind of a fun and entertaining half for us to watch.
28 total shots, so both offenses certainly were able to get it into the attacking third. Lexington accounting for nearly 20 of those. Their finishing ability, not great, but a lot of opportunities, and that's all you can ask as a coach. You can start working on the rest. The technique, as you alluded to, oftentimes on some of those shots is just what was missing there, but they had some quality buildups, and you don't see that many great looks on net. But maybe you do against Mansfield Christian. This is a team that they'll give you some chances, but they can also counter, and they can get some goals of their own.
Absolutely. They know they can score, and so I think part of that is they're going to send some players forward and kind of play a little risky that way. When you score 50 goals, you got to be careful, and obviously they've given up 50 in the process, and that stat line remains even tonight, 52 and 52 now. So it's just kind of the nature of this team and how the season has gone for them. Good opportunity for Arnholt again. Gets it on her right, gets it in the back of the net. Big goal for McKenna Arnholt.
This junior has been the playmaker tonight for Lexington. Just creating her own shot, sets this all up on her own, blast off right in the back of the net where it needed to be.
Yeah, you see, that's the defensive technical ability. McKenna Arnholt, just a little bit of speed, just gets by her with a good touch. And then just, the right foot, and that's the placement we failed to see in the first half. It doesn't have to be hard. It just has to be on goal and in the corner, and she does both and is rewarded for that, doubling her season total from 2 to 4 tonight.
Yeah.
Quite the night for McKenna Arnholt.
It's been her and Abby Little scoring so far tonight for Mansfield Christian. So let's go ahead and dive into the trivia question of the night for you, Jesse, okay?
Okay.
So, Abby, she's closing in on 20 goals for the year. She's had more than 20 each of the last 2 seasons here at Mansfield Christian. Who was the last Lady Flames player to top 20 goals in a season prior to Abby?
Ooh, I'm pretty confident. I believe it's Audrey Martin. I'm pretty confident. I don't think I'm missing anyone in that. That's going to be my guess. I'll give some time to let some other people answer as well, but I am about 95% sure right away that I think I got that one right.
He just dove right in, less than 5 seconds. Usually I'll have these and, they're messing with your brain a little bit. You'll be naming this player or that player. Not tonight, Jesse. Very confident, so we'll give you guys at home a few minutes to kind of let it sink in, and you decide who was the last player, not named Abby Little, to score 20 goals for the Lady Flames.
Interesting little bit of strategy here for Mansfield Christian, who has normally played this high line, has dropped almost a sweeper almost 10 to 15 yards off that last play there. We'll see if that's kind of a consistent, on a night like tonight, you have so many things you are dependent upon. Obviously, you got to rely on the referee to make that offsides call. You're trying to shrink the field. But the footing is really the struggle, that if you plant wrong or turn wrong and you slip, what should be kind of a chase for the ball turns into a breakaway for Lexington. So you can see there's a little bit of a support now for Mansfield Christian. We don't see that high line. They got that sweeper in the back and a little bit of extra, one more layer defensively.
Here's Arnholt Cooking with the salt yet again. This girl's been dynamic all night long. That last pass not available that time, trying to set it up for Parker. As Coleman shovels it back into the attack here. It'll be out of play. Lex going to hang on to possession.
You know, Coleman, certainly, I think the first couple plays of the game, I saw her just hit the ball out of bounds. I thought, man, is that all she's going to do? But the last 3 times she's touched the ball, she's put it right to the attacking player, nearly in stride on that one, and certainly had the, I'll say the assist to the assist on, I believe, the first goal for Lexington of just putting that ball in the right place at the right time. That might have been the second goal now I think about it, but kind of a back and forth game now, a little more of a defensive effort from Mansfield Christian, and now a throw in to reward them for their effort.
Lady Flames now trailing 3-2 here with the big goal by Arnhold, her second here of the match.
It might have been a handball, but I think she panicked when she thought she hit it with her hand and kicked it out of bounds. So it is going to be a Lexington throw-in. Goes deep and right past the Mansfield Christian defenders. It's 2-on-2 going into the box. Mansfield Christian dropping some numbers back. That's a great ball in. That's a great attempt. Oh, man. Still in. Big save. What a sequence there. Lexington does well. Just kind of create something out of nothing. Really twice. I mean, just kind of a long throw that led to a big ball in, and then a poor clearance led to a second opportunity. Just a missed chance there for Lexington. Kind of a dream approach there, but again, right at the keeper. Does well to keep it on goal. It's kind of been what we've been talking about. Just needs to be on goal, force her into making a save, and indeed she does that time.
Yeah, it was just a gorgeous setup by Patterson, and then the second opportunity there. But both lead to nada for Lex as Abigail does a nice job in between the pipes. She's been tested a lot so far tonight. Double-digit saves for her.
And not an easy night to be a keeper where it's a little windy, it's a little cold, the conditions of the field, it gets to be a little muddy, and you're having to face quality shots about every minute. Oh, the turf gets another one. There's been a lot of victims of the mud tonight.
All Barry off the deflection. And was it out of bounds for a goal kick? It is going to be.
I will say this is something that's kind of unique. You don't see that a lot at this point in the season. Lexington plays usually a dual keeper. So they'll have a keeper that plays one half and a keeper plays second half. So Molly Worley is now in goal for Lexington. I guess I missed the touch of the keeper there, but Lexington's going to dribble the goal kick out. And so throughout the year, this has been their strategy. They play both keepers, and both are quality keepers. And you want to get them minutes and experience. I don't know for the length of the season if that lasts. If you go into the tournaments with that same, I think at some point you have to name your keeper, and But right now, it's why not get them both minutes, get them experience, and get to be out there. There's another victim of the field.
Yeah, didn't see any contact there. As Parker off the dribble. Sends it out wide.
Alexa's got some players in the box as well. Let's see if she can find somebody in the box. She does. Good cut by McKenna.
Deflected. Another chance here.
This game is turning into a little bit of a mud ball. As you look into the goal box down there, it's kind of hard to see with just the way the lighting is, but it is getting to be quite muddy in the goal box down there. It's going to be offsides against Lexington. And that was never really a clean attempt, but Lexington had a couple near attempts, so the ball just kind of being knocked around in the box there, and people just couldn't really get the footing they wanted and the ball they wanted, and just never really resulted in a shot, but near scoring opportunities.
All right, Jesse. Let's go back to the trivia question. The last Lady Flames player to top 20 goals prior to Abby Little, without hesitation, you said?
Audrey Martin.
Unfortunately, that is a little wrong answer, sir.
Really?
Olivia? Is it Becca Lesky?
Oh, no. Olivia's going to kill me.
Abby's freshman year back in 2019, she had 21 goals.
I she had that many. Olivia does some training for some of my teams. There's a goal for Lexington. Just an individual effort, a little bit of contact. And now the game is really starting to open up for Lexington.
This has to be so exciting for them as Jocelyn Patterson, as you talked about. It's the individual efforts right now for Lex that are making the difference. Just going one-on-one at players, showing off the skill, a little bit of physicality, holds her off, and then pow, perfect placement.
Yeah, it's just effort there. It's just an individual effort to keep the ball and win the ball and then to get that shot off. And what they've not done a lot is keep the ball on goal, and indeed they did and forced her into to trying to make a save, and she was just off her line and could not. I'm going to owe Olivia Bekaleski an apology. That's not great.
It's even one of your players, huh, that
Yeah,
at least you've worked with.
She's been doing a lot of training for some of my teams over the summer, and
man,
oh, jeez. Well,
you win some, you lose
you
some.
win some. Man, I was so confident too. I just had my timelines off.
Foot race here. Workman gets cut off.
Keeps her pressure high. It's what she does so well. Just kind of creates chaos and makes it tough to play a ball out and trying to connect on that pass out of there. Just her pressure just forces turnovers. Just all over the field. Just seems to never stop. She's all over the field throughout the entire course of the game. Just a fun player to watch. There's a bouncing ball in for Lexington. Struck well, just wide of the goal.
Yeah, big one-timer from the junior, Olivia Stutz. She was in the perfect spot for it, and pretty clean contact as well.
Yeah, I like that attempt. I like the ball in. I mean, you could see Stutz look to the goal. There wasn't a lot of power. It was just trying to keep it on goal, and it's a tough angle, tough ball. Arnholt with a good win, a good ball. That's going to be, oh.
Yeah, huge collision. No whistle against Parker that time. Just trucked through Alyssa McFadden.
Yeah, I think McFadden's the one who kind of initiated that contact. I think if Parker goes down, she's got a better chance to get the call than McFadden, honestly.
And that's where flopping comes into play.
Oh, jeez.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, there certainly was contact, absolutely. It's so hard to flop in the box with the ball at your feet, especially if the defender's away.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I think if she goes down, she probably earns that whistle.
Yeah, McFadden I don't think hits the ball at all. She just kind of makes contact. But she's the one who goes down, so. We've seen a lot of quality attempts for Mansfield Christian here to start the second half, 10 minutes, and Lexington has certainly been the dominant team of the second half. 2 goals to show for it, 2 near goals almost in addition to that.
Mansfield Christian has just generated a shot so far here in the second half. Here's the second one. Dynamite. Electric from way downtown.
You mentioned this at the start of the broadcast. That sometimes there's nothing wrong with a 30-yard shot and just seeing it. And we saw this attempt earlier, and it was on goal right at the keeper. But this one, just a rocket. Just hits the ball clean. The ball just kind of bounces around, ends up right at the feet of Noel. Not even taking a touch, just cracking it right away. Top corner, what a shot.
Man. Noel Bear ordering off the top shelf right there. No chance from Molly Worley.
I don't think anybody really picked this to be a 7-goal shootout in tonight's game. I think, Lexington has already they've got a quarter of their goals in one game for the season now, so.
Fun things happen on this field. We've seen Mansfield Christian involved in quite a few high-scoring affairs out here.
Yeah, you look at some of the Mansfield Christian scores, and you kind of expect them to be in shootouts like this, but not with Lexington here. Going back the other way, the ball kind of keeps rolling for Lexington. Noel just kind of gets that out. That's probably the better clear for Mansfield Christian is if you can't find that next pass, you just got to get it out of that area and not let Lexington have an immediate second chance. There's another long throw. Just turns right around there for Lexington.
I think that stayed in and now deflected off the shin guards of Patterson. We'll apply some pressure. And now MC clears it out. Coleman playing pretty high, but skips it out of play.
And we've seen Coleman hit that 30-yard ball a couple of times, but that 20-yard pass was couldn't connect the feet out of bounds or to her player in bounds there. And we just talked about how Mansfield Christian was failing to really generate any offense or shots, and Noel does well to just turn really nothing into something, and something huge at that. Another good ball in.
Yeah, I was curious if she was just going to let it ride there that time from about 40 plus.
Yeah, we saw Mom kind of question her earlier when she did it, and now we see kind of evens the score line a little bit there. Molly does well to get off her line, come get that, not have any trouble for Mansfield Christian.
First touch is by Bear, but right to Coleman, so back and forth.
Still can't believe I got that trivia question wrong. I'll be able to sleep tonight.
Just 3 years ago, Jesse.
I know. I didn't know that she had 20. She's a great player.
21 to be approximate.
Yeah, thank you.
Even shortchanging her. Yeah, make sure that you tune in to the Soccer Locker. It's going to be up on Thursday, starring Jesse Rider, of course, and he's going to give you the players to watch in the area. Certainly, I just heard of one at halftime. Well, we'll keep it a secret. I don't want to give it away, but my gosh, a state record was just set by one of our area players. And then also the top 5 boys and girls squad in North Central Ohio. And I got a feeling there's going to be a shakeup this week.
I think you're right. There's 2 games tonight that kind of have some implication in that top 5. Obviously, we're here at one of them right now, and Mapleton and Loudonville are battling out on the other side of town. And so two of the top goal scorers in the area are kind of going at it. So it's kind of a fun week, fun day at least for some area soccer.
I believe those are the 2 top goal scorers in the area, the young lady from Mapleton and Loudonville. I'd have to check out the statistics, but I know that they both have some crazy-looking numbers so far this year.
Absolutely. We talked about their strength of schedule a little bit, and they obviously don't play. Oh, I'm just getting some text now about the game. This Loudonville, who won 3-2 over Mapleton. And I believe Worcester and Lexington boys are playing tonight or soon this week. I'm trying to check and see what day that is. I was with Coach Tim over the weekend. We were talking about just not sure how good this Worcester team really is. They've got some good results. They beat up on Ashland, who beat Lex. So you look at some of those scores. There's another bouncing ball. Let's see if she has the same courage to strike it. She does, not quite on target.
Little able to get ahead on it. Had teammate tracking, but it's into the hands of Worley. Go down as a 3rd shot here in the second half for MC.
Abby Little with a little bit of time and space in the middle of the field. I thought she thought about hitting one as well from there.
Now set up in front of her. She's tried to thread it through. Now sends it back. Here's Noel. Dish off to the left side. Back to Bear. And left foot this time.
Green light is on. Why not? And in fact, Lexington and Worcester are playing right now at Worcester, so there could be a lot of movement in the area rankings this week. So a lot of fun with that. Get to just kind of look at some different teams, how they match up. The boys are so close, so competitive that if they were to play consistently, I think you'd get different results every time. But they play each other once, and so it just makes for you got to win when you can win. And Ashland so far has been triumphant in that over Lex and Ontario.
Sure. Yeah, we saw Worcester get beat over the weekend by Maslin Jackson. At home, nonetheless.
Yeah, Worcester undoubtedly has some great players. I'm just not sure of the level of their team yet. There's going to be a foul against Lexington for Mansfield Christian. You wonder, what does a free kick right here look like? Certainly, we've seen the green light beyond. Do they go for more of a kind of a pass, a big ball into the box, or is it just on goal and you try and follow up for the deflection? Oh, that's just missed. That's not a bad ball in, just over the outstretched legs of Abby Little.
So we're 15 minutes gone by here in the second half. We've seen 2 goals from Lady Lex, 1 from Mansfield Christian in this second stanza. And all of them just great individual efforts. See who comes away with possession here. It's going to end up with Arnhold.
That part of the field has caught so many cleats tonight.
Yeah, hopefully the team trainer's got some Tide Pods.
It's true.
A lot
for
of mud.
Lex. Yeah, Lex going to have a little bit of mud on tonight. Mara does well to kind of keep the ball, keep possession. Abby just puts it in, puts it deep. Molly's right place, right time. Makes the routine save. It's just such a difficult thing, I think, with dual keepers of the pressure each keeper has to put on themselves of when one bad game or one bad mistake could cost you kind of your chance, and so you have to have players that kind of thrive in that pressure. I thought for sure she's going to look at goal there. Good pass to the outside.
Now Raider tried to bring it back, but finds Parker instead.
Just game is just kind of back and forth. Well, Lexington will get a series of opportunities, and eventually Mansfield Christian will bring it down for a series of opportunities. And I see Renee Little got the trivia question correct. Congratulations, Renee.
There are some Flames fans that they know their stuff, Jesse.
Yeah, it used to be me. More so on the boys' side, but that's all right.
There'll be many more trivia questions to come. You'll have more opportunities on the way. Yeah, so every time I come into this press box, it's so great. You know, they've got the state finals teams up here, the two great photos that, I mean, clearly you are the star of both of these photos, Jesse. It's impossible not to pick you out of the lineup. Big, deep rocket ball all the way into the hands of Abigail.
I feel like the game's lost a little bit of its luster. We were going almost every minute. We were getting a near goal or a goal. And here it's been, I think, at least two without a real scoring chance. So.
Yeah, we've seen some footing problems in the middle of the field, a little bit of some balls rattling around too as well, some pinball action.
I think the defensive adjustment that Mansfield Christian has made has seemed to kind of slow down Lex a little bit. You know, obviously they've got 2 goals in the second half still, but of recent they've not had a lot of opportunities to get in the box and get some numbers. So we'll see if that remains true throughout the game.
It's going to be a turnover off the throw-in. Lady Lex with some numbers building forward. Parker sends it through. Good-looking ball. And ripped. And brought down by the keeper, Heininger.
Well, I thought when she deflected, I thought it might result in a goal just the way it got off her hands there, but she does well to just catch the clean one. You can see it's a good build-up by Lexington. This is the quality of chances we've been looking for. Struck well. Again, kind of right at the keeper, but at least forces it into a tougher save. And she's able to recover the second save as well.
Yeah, she's got 14 of them on the night, so definitely has been tested. There's a lot of physical contact. Never draws a whistle. A little surprised by that. Thought we saw some outstretched arms.
I thought she touched the ball first, but you're right. There was a little contact there. One-on-one. Arnholt gets by the first defender. Just got to outrun the next 3, and she cannot. Oh, who called that? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. The referee who was right there didn't make that call, but the referee who's 60 yards down the field thought he saw contact without the ball. Oh, not a huge fan of that call, but it's just leaning. I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're just leaning and fighting for a ball. I think you have to let that go. Lex goes for a bit of a hurried free kick in the goal. It is
drilled by Macy Chambers, the senior. Had a nice little bend to it as well.
There must have been some confusion with the wall. You know, Lex's approach was pretty quick, and they didn't look to set 10 specific yards or anything. She just kind of runs up on it. She even checks, I think, to see if the referee's going to do anything, and she just runs up. And yeah, the wall, you can see it's just not quite over far enough, and a little bit of a miscommunication between the keeper and the wall there. I think the quickness of which Lexington went didn't allow Mansfield Christian to be set in the right position, and kind of not an easy goal, certainly struck well by Lexington, but a goal nonetheless.
Yeah, Lexington's last 4 matches combined, they didn't have this many scores, so it's got to be, man, just such a great time for them out here tonight, Jesse.
Yeah, last 4, they had 11 on the year. I'm assuming the last 4 combined. It's a good ball in. Abby Little gets the first touch, maybe the second. She does, and it's wide.
Yeah, excellent job of just sticking with it that time for Abby. It looked like she was going to be shielded off by the defender. Of course, you see Barry crashing in and just willing to drive her leg in there and almost.
Yeah, just trying to poke it through. Yeah, absolutely. That had been about 30 seconds since we had a goal-scoring opportunity, so it's good to get one back in there.
Yeah, no doubt. It's getting bored. Big pressure here from Aaron Hope. Lexington's able to evade it, so
the field gets another one. That's a stat we should have kept had we known what it would have been like tonight.
Yeah, no question.
I think we're in double digits now of how many times the field has taken a player out.
This one rattles around. Big clear by Macy Chambers.
Yeah, that's the play you got to be. I mean, it was cleared right to Mansfield Christian, who then touched it right to Lexington. Lexington has returned the favor. It's just kind of a little back and forth. You just got to be able to put that ball somewhere else. You know, it's either got to be a first touch of your feet and you play it, or it's just got to be away from that space and not let Lexington go forward with it. It's a good ball in. They got so many players on the backside. Let's see if they find him. Field gets another.
Another one bites the dust. This one threaded through, though. Arnholt turns inside, and she has just been fearless tonight, Jesse, with multiple defenders on her. I've really liked her character of just saying, I don't care. I'm going at you.
I thought she was going to be offsides. I thought the referee put his whistle to his mouth to call it, but he did not. She was on. Looks like it is going to be a Lexington throw in here. We've seen a couple girls who've kind of got the ability to throw the ball a decent ways in.
Sure.
Not quite their style in this part of the field, I guess.
McKenna turn to the outside.
You're right. She just keeps winning these individual challenges and just comes away with the ball. It's probably the fourth time that just keeps kind of working, and eventually she gets the ball and she's going forward.
Going to get a substitution as Kaylee Brown checks out. Throw-in coming up from deep in Mansfield Christian territory for Lex. A lot of bodies all squashed in there down in the corner. I believe that's going to be deflected off of Arnhold out of bounds. Should be a goal kick.
It's been quite the second half as well. Certainly we had our fair share of goals and opportunities in the first half, and the second half has not disappointed. We're just 23 minutes in, and I think we've got, 5 goals to show for it, and a lot of near goals, and not much in terms of physicality to the game. You know, it's just kind of being the ball bounced around and players picking their head up and just finding the next open play. This part of the field has proved to be problematic sometimes for just keeping your footing. That's a good ball in, right to her. Good step. Oh, still bouncing around. Still kind of battling around. And it's going to be cleared out.
At least for now, Lexington with plenty of girls surrounding inside the box there. And here comes up Maddie Hughes to try to keep it in the attacking third. But it's going to slip out of bounds. I thought this was last touch by Lex, but they feel like they've got the throw.
Yeah, he called a deflection. Lex is in the attack right away. It's a good ball in. Oh, it's defended well, but it's going to be numbers for Lex. Oh, you know, I don't mind the shot, but, man, there's 2 players sitting in the box waiting for that ball at their feet, and it's a much easier, you can see right there at the top of the screen, they're just sitting there waiting. If she plays them, it's an easier shot, easier opportunity, higher percentage of goal. Not a bad shot. Just think there might have been a better play to be had.
Probably come with time. Borowitz, just a talented freshman, trying to take advantage of her looks when she's getting her minutes out here on the field.
Yeah, certainly she's a top quality player. You know, to be a freshman and play in a program like this, that speaks of her quality.
Nice carry. That one driven to really nobody in particular, but kind of worked out here for Lexington.
Ooh, did not look just that. Let me just turn it, hit this and see what happens. What happened was Mansfield Christian was in the way and has now won it back because of it. Doesn't feel good, but certainly did the right thing there to win the ball and keep it.
Yeah, Klossbach's pretty tough. She didn't even flinch, man. She just took it
kept
right off the
going right
chest.
after it, absolutely. It's been a nice little combination play for Mansfield Christian to get out of it.
Now Lena Chase deflected here. Circles back towards the ball, getting involved in the action. And with the pressure, keeps it in somehow.
Ball is just really kind of just being hit around right now. Not a lot of purpose. And there's the play you want. Just pick your head up, find your target. Whenever Lex can find their target, just good things have happened. I mean, they're just able to kind of pick apart the Mansfield Christian defense.
Deflected by Thomas. No problem for Heininger. As we're just about 14 minutes to go here at Comstock Field.
You see that replay there. You just got to be able to, you can't go back at the target there. There's one player pressing, and you go right at her to try and clear the ball. Just some indecisions on the clearances there. I think she's going to be offsides, yep.
Second offside call against Lexington here in this second half, 4th overall. And, you know, they haven't fallen for the trap that many times, but Mansfield Christian, as you mentioned early on in the second half, they played a little bit differently here in half number 2 as they did to start off the match.
Yeah, I think Lexington got a lot of looks in the first half. I don't know if that's all a result of that trap, but certainly they were able to get the ball wide and attack from that width a little bit, so you just had to offer some support somewhere on the field. And credit to Mansfield Christian, they've adjusted well. In saying that, they've given up 3 second-half goals, but I think Lex honestly should have had more than 2 in the first half. So it's kind of one of those things you just got to choose which one is the better suits your team. Oh, miscommunication. That could have been a good-looking play there. A little bit of miscommunication. Who's going to take the ball?
Quick throw, hits a Lex player, but then Noel tried to zip it out wide. Lady Lex on the counter attack. Thomas in a battle here with Klausbach. Shields her off with the body. Now here's a little bit of space in the middle of the park.
Went for the big ball. Probably not quite what you needed there. I think Mansfield Christian, if they play that ball just a little tighter in the box, they've done well to kind of get some good goal scoring opportunities. Just find the next play. Lex sends about 2 players to the ball. So if you can find that next ball that's someone's feet in the box, it usually gets yourself a good opportunity to go to goal.
Haven't seen a scoring opportunity in a little while.
It's been at least a minute.
It's got to be on the way here soon. Well, Little got wrapped around the back of Parker. Bounces right back up, though.
Big throw by Hughes. Big flick, but right to Mansfield Christian. Good pressure by Barry. Mansfield Christian just can't quite keep possession of the ball right now. Just kind of chasing the ball a little bit. I guess the same could be said for Lexington, really. We've seen this combination of play where Lex is just kind of holding the ball and waiting and can't really find anything else to do. And Lexington doesn't really play the ball backwards. Everything's pretty much forwards, and they can't find it forward. They usually just kind of hit the ball high and wide. And
ball takes a hop. Molly able to squeeze it. And now they just notice the cameras on them. Some of the student section here for Mansfield Christian.
It's good control by Mansfield Christian. They've not kept that ball out when it's kind of been bouncing out to them. They good composure to keep the ball, get a good touch, and find the next player. Abby Little with a good turn as well. Just can't quite connect on the other end.
Aaron just got blasted there. Flames keeping possession, so no whistle. And now Parker through the middle, another turnover. Giveaways all over the place here.
Yeah, it's gotten a little sloppy here. We've seen a lot of goal-scoring opportunities in the second half, but certainly these past couple of minutes. Well, here we go.
Wow, look at the speed from Thomas. Great jump, though, by Heininger off of that line to come make a play.
Yeah, she really does get off that line well, because that's not an easy read, and it's right on the line, so you're not sure if you're doing hands or feet, and so she just says she's got to go feet because she's not sure, and makes the right play.
Here's Abby, a little bit of space, dishes off for Aaron.
Another miscommunication there. I think she thought Barry was going to take it, and Barry thought she was keeping it, and just a little bit of inexperience and not being able to read each other well as you're attacking in there.
Substitution's going to send Mara Barry over to the sideline.
Freshman Avery Johnson checking back into the game, who saw some minutes in the first half. I think it's haven't seen her much in the second half if she has been in.
So here's Noel. Deep drive, and it's bobbled. And then Molly, I think, might have got stepped on that time by Little.
I'm not sure if Little actually made contact with her. It was close, certainly, if she was.
Huge shot by Noel Bear. And you're right. I think might have stepped on her ponytail, actually, is what it looked like.
Yeah, I mean, she certainly tries to pull up when she sees that she's got the ball. I don't think there's anything of ill intent. Maybe a little bit of contact. I couldn't quite tell. She certainly tries to pull up. I couldn't tell if she actually makes contact or not. Dangerous ball in by Noel, though. I mean, that's the right ball. Just force the keeper into a tough save, and then Abby's right there if she spills it. But Molly does well to make the first save, then just get on top of it for the second. See the replay. It's a big, dangerous ball in. Molly gets off her line a little late there and doesn't quite catch it cleanly, but gets on top of the second one. Yeah, maybe a little bit of contact there. I don't think anything with too much force, but.
So here's Thomas. Just kind of sends it down the line. Flames give it right back, and it'll be deflected out of bounds. Lexington throwing coming up here on the near side as, boy, they've got 5 girls checking in now, so trying to stay fresh and maybe burn a little bit of clock as we're down to 8.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, and this is something we talked about with kind of the program size difference. And we've covered a Mansfield Christian Clear Fork game a couple times, and Clear Fork, will usually run 16, 17 players regardless of the opponent. But I remember a couple of years ago, it was about 90, 100 degrees on the turf at Clear Fork, and they were just subbing every minute, and Mansfield Christian just did not have that depth. I think you see a little bit of that now and trying to finish this game out. Lex can keep bringing in quality players, and Mansfield Christian just doesn't have the numbers like a program like Lexington does.
But as we heard at the half from Coach Stoffer, former coach, enrollment up 40% over the last few years.
Absolutely, that's a crazy number when you look at kind of what the world has been through for a private school to jump.
Yeah.
And numbers, that's absolutely terrific, and a lot of exciting things they've got going on here. You can see there's a lot of construction going on. And
certainly.
Phrases I never heard when I was here was East Campus and West Campus, and there was a campus when I was here. So it's exciting to see the growth. It's really a unique thing here. A lot of great things happening.
That my kid is part of that 40%. 8th grader, really enjoying her time so far, except for math class. Saw her grade in that one, not going so well, but everything else seems to be just swell.
I wouldn't say everything else. I did ask her today.
Oh no.
She said she loves the school. Does not like the uniforms, though, just so you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were aware of that or not, but I'm assuming you knew that. But.
Well, khakis isn't a great look on everybody. She's embracing it. Definitely, I haven't seen my kid wear a skirt in years and years and years. So the first time, it was a little striking when she walked down the stairs ready for school, and I was like, wow, okay.
That's fair.
I guess that's the new style. At least makes getting dressed easy. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many options. If not,
do you do the red polo or the blue polo?
Exactly.
It's high pressure by Jocelyn again. Mansfield Christian trying to keep composure. Like I said, just a little quicker to the ball right now.
Good ball here down the near side. Can they do anything with it? Hey, that one sneaks through for Abby. Trying to make a 1v1, lays it off.
Again, just the timing, the communication. That play could result in at least a shot on goal. And Abby plays a little behind, and Avery Johnson, I don't think, thought it was to her because it was behind her.
And it looks like Lexington as well starting to play a little bit more defensive strategy here as more and more girls in white jerseys kind of clustered inside of the box when Mansfield Christian's trying to have some build-up and some offensive opportunities.
Jocelyn took that right in the face there. I think the turn to maybe flick it on or leave it, and it ended up getting kind of bodied and took the ball right in the face. I thought that might have been a handball. I thought she kind of tipped it up into her own hand.
Now this one just set into the box. Nobody makes a charge. And Mansfield Christian starting to run out of time here. Down by 2. Certainly would love to get a goal in the next couple of minutes to try to make things interesting. But Lexington, with plans of their own, trying to pile it on. And they'll have a corner kick on the way. Lexington, if you're just joining us, 5 goals tonight. They entered with just 11 on the season. So the Lex faithful have had a lot to cheer about tonight. 2 goals was the most they had in a match before this one.
Yeah, Lex taking their time on this corner kick as well. I think the ball went out about 5:25 on the clock maybe, and here we are, 4:55, and the ball's still not even set for the corner. Jocelyn making sure that ball's just set right over there, just in the right patch of grass, and nearly 45 seconds off the clock on our corner kick. It's just
Bravo.
Just some gamesmanship, just really want to come away. That ball is just bouncing for Lexington.
Yeah, snuck out for Workman. And now they tried to get a shot from Hughes.
Ooh.
As that one off target. Shot number 10 in the second half for Lexington.
Seen a couple of these plays where it's just kind of bouncing around, and then saw Mansfield Christian signaling for offsides with a couple players way behind the ball. I think it's kind of a last-ditch effort to maybe not get that shot off there. I don't know.
One kept in bounds, give and go, but the go wasn't really there for Kaylee Brown.
Yeah, and
Stopped
honestly,
the run.
there's no reason for the go there. I mean, at some point you got to turn and face the goal and kind of look that way. Even if she were to kind of collect it, it's not super advantageous. So because sometimes give and go is one of those things I think people like the idea of it, but there's certainly a time and a place for a give and go in soccer.
See if Mansfield Christian's got one last surge left in them. As Coleman beat on the tackle attempt, so numbers matriculating forward here for MC. They give it away. Tough break for them as looked like they had a decent looking build going.
Yeah, just not quite connecting on some of the balls they have been earlier.
That's the lady they want with it. Little shifts it forward, long run, and I think that's going to be deflected off a chase, out of bounds. So goal kick coming up, and let's see how long this takes to get placed.
Absolutely. You know, you look at some of the stats like this, you see the Mansfield Christian faithful having a good time out there tonight. Certainly a lot of fun, a big local game. Definitely had their chances early in this game to kind of make it a little bit more competitive than how it's ended up right now. But you look at some of the depth problems. So certainly there's not a lot of subs for Mansfield Christian, but then so you've got multiple players who are playing 80 minutes game in and game out. And that can take a wear on your body. And like we talked about earlier, at some point you got to start planning for tournaments too. And we're going to see another long goal kick. Molly's going to chase this down into the abyss down there, and hopefully she makes it out okay.
Yeah, a little dark on that end of the patch.
The lights definitely stop after the field around here, that's for sure.
And for tournament time, both of these teams, they've struggled when they've got into postseason play for quite a number of years. Lexington, of course, they've just been in an absolutely absurdly loaded district, having to deal with Madison for all these years, Ontario before that. I don't know the last time that they actually made it out of a district.
Ooh.
Oh. Looks like
that made a call. Again, I thought it was shoulder to shoulder. They're working hard for the ball, but you see the replay here. They're both running hard. Maybe the arm comes up a little bit. I mean, he's got a better angle than what we do on the camera, it looks like, and he's looking down at it. Some room for Jocelyn. There's a little bit of a foot race here.
Patterson gets cut off, and that one rolls out. Last touch by Jocelyn. See if MC's able to get possession back and just go dire straits, as you saw how hard Stutes tried to stay onside, just could not hold up a run.
Yeah, it's a good ball by Olivia Workman. That's the right play. I mean, it's a dangerous ball in the area. Just over a minute remaining in the match here. Lexington pretty commanding lead and flow of the game right now, but Abby Little's got the ball, and anything can happen when that's the case.
Chase from the corner. Poked out of bounds. It will be a corner kick here for Mansfield Christian, and their second here in the second half. Got to get to work quickly.
Absolutely. So you got a little bit of a chance here, and certainly Noel kind of taking a little bit of time, but you want to get a quality ball in.
And Bear will do just that. Kind of came sizzling, actually, though. A lot of heat behind that ball.
You just got to get that ball in the box. It can't be that slow. That's the ball you needed in the first time when your players are still in the box. There's no reason to kind of wait for it there.
It looked like Aaron Hope actually backed up a little bit to try to get a running start at it.
It's a good ball in.
Yeah, Parker looking for a late match goal. Instead, it'll be shot number 11 out of bounds, but Lexington keeping the hot streak together as they've now won 4 out of their last 5 after a really tough start to the year. And nevertheless, we've still got cartwheels from the Mansfield Christian kid, who is just so spectacular. That the form, phenomenal. That's what we saw from Lexington tonight offensively. I'm going to guess easily their most shot attempts. Definitely the best scoring night so far of the 2022 campaign. And I don't know if this is ever going to stop.
Yeah, it's beginning to be impressive. I thought, well, a couple at the beginning, but he should just go. Oh, there it is. All right. We've reached the end of the cartwheel sensation.
And we've reached the end of the match. 5-3, Lady Lex a victor. So stay here. We'll get you those final stats. Might have to talk to that kid as a potential MVP candidate. But let us know. Weigh in with a comment. Who is worthy of tonight's most valuable player? I think certainly Arnholt was spectacular. Thomas was great too. Patterson. Maybe we'll leave it up to you, the fans. Chime in, let us know. That's all on the other side of the break. Stay here. It's live and free, and post-game action coming up.
There's a blood shortage and we came up to Dead Lover's Point at midnight on Friday the 13th.
Lame.
Guess I'm gonna waste all this blood by dying in a predictable horror movie way.
50% of Americans like watching blood get spilled in horror movies, but only 3% donate it. When was the last time you donated blood?
Number one receiver coming from the Shelby Whippets, Isaiah Ramsey.
He's caught our attention over here, and we're certainly going to keep an eye on the Willard flashes.
We will see you next week on the Stat Leaders, brought to you by Spencer of Mansfield.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Did you make the right decision about schooling this year?
Mansfield Christian School is designed to turn your questions into confidence. For 60 years, Mansfield Christian has partnered with families and churches to train our children in a biblical worldview. Every day, someone is shaping how your kids see the world. Now more than ever, you need to have confidence that the teachers, curriculum, and programs at your child's school are a match for your values.
For Christian families, our values are your values, and you can have confidence that you made the right decision at Mansfield Christian.
I'm Travis Big League Berardi. Catch me every week with my Country Roads rankings. We'll go over the small school top 10 football schools here in the area.
5-3 victory for Lady Lex here on the road tonight at Comstock Field as they continue the hot streak, even though it's a cold night out here. Winners in 4 of their last 5. Brian Skowronski, Jesse Rider with you here on our post game, brought to you by Mechanics Bank. And it was a fun match, had a lot of opportunities on both sides. It just seemed to fizzle out a little bit for Mansfield Christian towards the end of the match, where a Lexington defense that had been great all year, they started to step up in crunch time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was kind of an electric game. You knew it couldn't keep that pace throughout the course of the game. It was near goal-scoring opportunities. But it seemed like literally every minute of the game,
it was great.
Each team would get a couple, and then go the other end. Each team would get a couple, and then we started getting goals out of it. But you're right. At the end of the game, I think you just saw the depth. You saw, Lexington just kind of pull away. They had the numbers to kind of keep subs fresh, and I think Mansfield Christian just had enough gas to kind of keep it at that level throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, fun crowd here on hand as well, as they enjoyed a lot of scoring opportunities as we talked about. Let's go ahead and show you the final stats of the match, presented by Mechanics Bank. And 30 total shots for Lex tonight. I guarantee they haven't had that many so far all season long, Jesse, and able to capitalize, of course, with 5 of them. And they started off so rocky. They had great clean looks, weren't able to even get them on frame. Mansfield Christian took advantage of some of their early opportunities as well, but just as I mentioned, it just kind of it fizzled out for them over about the last 10-15 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, you think there's a little bit of that mental aspect we talked about, where I think we saw players overhitting, just kind of kicking out the ball, and then towards the end of that second half, you saw some composure in front of the goals. It started warranting some goals there, and then the second half, you saw a lot better opportunities. I think they scored obviously 3 more goals, but I think even their quality of chances they had were better. They were on goal, forcing the keeper to make tough saves. And so I think you just saw Lexington improve through the course of the night, and I think you see confidence continue to rise when you can put 5 goals up in a game.
So this is my first time getting to see Lexington so far this season. I got to say that I was definitely impressed with a couple of their forwards. McKenna Arnholt was a standout tonight. Just your overall impressions of Lady Lex and what type of a team they are now that they're here getting into the second half of the season, and they're starting to put together some wins.
Yeah, I think it's a team that's trying to find their identity still. This was a senior-laden team last year. I believe they graduated 12 seniors. So there's a lot of these girls where they have not had these minutes, these moments, and these experiences, kind of where the responsibility falls to them for the course of the game. And so I think you get to watch them kind of. Although they're old in terms of grade, they have a lot of juniors and seniors. I think they're young in terms of varsity experience, and so I think there's a lot of them that are just kind of figuring out the flow of the game, the course of the game, the rigors of the game. But I think, like we say with a lot of these teams, the more they play, the better they're going to get.
Sure.
And I think they're a tough out. Obviously they played Ontario super tough in the home opener or the season opener for Lexington, a 2-1 loss. They play a pretty tough schedule. They play Madison, Clear Fork, tied Clear Fork, who's done incredibly well this year. I think record-wise, they're not super impressive, but I think talent-wise, they're a tough out in the tournament. I wouldn't really want to be matched up with them because I just think they're good defensively. They're solid. They have multiple keepers who can play. They have multiple ways that they can at least get shots on goal, and I think if they continue to kind of play with this confidence, then we'll see kind of another level of what the game could look like for them.
And Mansfield Christian drops to 0-3-1 on the season, or 0-4-1, I should say, against Division II opponents. So when they were playing like-sized schools, very effective. I think all their wins are coming against some of the smaller schools in the state, except for the one against Mount Vernon when they took on the D1. So for them, it's just, I guess, maybe taking the next step and really showcasing their overall talent for 80 total minutes against a top-tier opponent.
Yeah, I think for Mansfield Christian, the goal has got to be conference. You want to win the conference championship tournament, which is kind of it's a fun, unique experience that you don't get in a lot of the area soccer teams have done away with conference tournaments. I still think it's a fun way to, it's kind of the tournament before the tournament, so certainly a lot of ways to kind of build and get excitement for your season before you get into the big tournament after that.
And we've got some excitement on the way here. Our MVP has made her way up into the booth. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with that on the other side.
There's a blood shortage and we came up to Dead Lovers Point at midnight on Friday the 13th.
Lame.
Guess I'm gonna waste all this blood by dying in a predictable horror movie way.
50% of Americans like watching blood get spilled in horror movies, but only 3% donate it. When was the last time you donated blood?
Number 1 receiver coming from the Shelby Whippets, Isaiah Ramsey.
He's caught our attention over here, and we're certainly going to keep an eye on the Willard flashes.
We will see you next week on the Stat Leaders, brought to you by Spencer of Mansfield.
We are here with Mechanics Bank MVP McKenna Arnholt. McKenna, great game tonight. 5-3 victors over Mansfield Christian. As a team, you've only scored 11 goals coming into this game. What happened tonight that you guys were able to kind of unleash this 5-goal performance?
We came off a really tough win against Madison, so I think that really sparked our confidence. And we just kept shooting, and we finally put one in, and it just kept going from there.
When you stepped foot on the field tonight, what was your goal? Were you thinking, hey, I want to try and get multiple goals tonight? I just want to try and get a goal. I want to get a win. What were you thinking when you got here tonight?
I don't really know. I was definitely wanted a goal, but I also wanted to get a few assists too.
So you have a team that, we were just talking about before you got up here. You're an interesting team because I think you've got a lot of players who are getting kind of their first maximum varsity minutes. So you had a senior heavy team last year, and so you've got a lot of girls who are starting to, the load falls to them. What are your expectations for this team now that it's kind of your turn in your group?
I think we just need to keep working well together and growing as a team, and including those younger girls and getting them minutes too, and we'll build from there.
Okay, so certainly you play a pretty tough schedule. You look at the conference schedule, tournaments. What are some of the expectations for you guys? When you look at the beginning of the season, what did you kind of set as some of the goals of, hey, you know what, we're looking for a conference championship or a sectional champion or district? What did you guys talk about? What were some of the highlights that you want to kind of accomplish this year?
We were definitely looking at an OCC title, but we don't know if we can get that anymore. So now we've moved on to more of the sectional and district. So we're looking more at that.
Sure. And for you guys, as you start to kind of finish out this season, is there an area you think this is an area we'd really like to improve? If we can improve in this area, it kind of takes our game to a new level.
I think we need to keep putting shots on goal and finishing goals as well. And I think that'll get us places.
Absolutely. You guys certainly created a lot of chances tonight. And I think the confidence started to come. You kept shooting, and then the goals started coming, and then we started to see a lot of good things happen there. So I think you have a great team. I think you guys are well on your way to kind of becoming a tough opponent for a lot of opponents, and so I'm excited to kind of see what you guys can do. We have a special OH Report MVP pennant right there. That is for you. Congratulations. McKenna, is there anybody that you want to say hello to out there on online world? You want to say, hey, what's up, or to anyone out there?
Just to my parents and my grandparents.
Parents and grandparents. You can look right at the camera. You can wave to them, say hello.
Hi.
This is McKenna Arnholt, our Mechanics Bank Player of the Game. McKenna, great job. You were fantastic tonight. Good 2 goals. That was a lot of fun. You can go give your headset back to Brian there. Congratulations. Great job, McKenna. What a fun game we got to have tonight. An 8-goal thriller, 5-3. Lexington was victorious. Certainly, it was a lot of fun, kind of back and forth for the first half, and then Lexington just kind of set the tone for the second half and really kind of finished that game with a lot of power there at the end.
I'm really excited for Lexington moving forward. They talked about, or McKenna just did, about that 2-1 victory over Madison, which is a team that has been kind of a thorn in their spine for quite a few years here. So to build off of that confidence coming on the road here against a Mansfield Christian team that scores quite a few goals, they take advantage of their opportunity, something they have not been able to do really in any match so far this year. So I'm looking forward to seeing Lady Lex down the road and what they can become, as they still got a few more matches before we get into the tournament draw and then ultimately find out what their postseason destination is going to be. So I agree with you. I think they're a very interesting tournament team, and they're going to be a tough out for anybody, no matter who they play.
Yeah, and record-wise, is, their season started a little rocky, and you talked about a lot of ties. They have a chance they could really go on a bit of a winning streak to kind of wrap up this season here with 4 or 5 wins to kind of close out the season and put them at a 10-win season. I think that's a great goal for them to have. McKenna kind of alluded to this is somewhat new for a lot of them. They've played some varsity before, but not at the minutes that they will now. And so it's fun to kind of watch this team grow and progress and kind of see how they'll finish the season out.
And it almost makes sense that they're in the position that they are now at the beginning of the season, where they were really trying to have a hard time of just getting the ball in the back of the net. Certainly weren't getting very many wins, a lot of draws in there. Now that they've had a chance to really develop as a team and these girls have gotten the varsity experience, Jesse, it's starting to all kind of come to fruition for them. And Buck Morton, he's been doing it for a long time. You know that he's going to have his girls prepared. So again, I think this Lexington team is very exciting. And on the flip side for Mansfield Christian, I don't really think that you need to be disappointed with the loss, even though I'm sure these girls are. The fact that they got a shot at another D2 squad right here in Richland County, and they were in it for a while, and then not that it came unraveled, but they weren't able to keep pace down the stretch. So for them, I think that there's a lot of good things that you can take away from it, but at the same time, it's like, dang it, another one that we kind of it got away from us at the end.
Yeah, they scored first. They're kind of a back and forth game. They had their opportunities tonight. They really did. You look at some of the other kind of local, bigger school games they've had, and they just been kind of smacked in those games with 13 goals, 9 goals, and competitive with Madison, but didn't score against Madison.
Sure.
And so this is the first one you felt like, okay, they can play with some of these teams. And so I thought they competed well. I liked a lot of what they did. I think defensively they struggle. I think there's some missed marks, some miscommunications. I thought the keeper play was fantastic. I know she gave up 5 goals, but there's a lot of opportunities that were in front of her. I think she stopped a lot of them. And so I think they really played well. I think if they bode well to win their conference, and they've got a shot to make it out of their sectional. I think they're a talented team, and when you have a player like Abby Little who can kind of score from anywhere in a variety of ways, that kind of lets you stay in a lot of games.
Yeah, no question. I'm looking forward to seeing what Mansfield Christian can do at the end of the season as well, and then into tournament time. They haven't done great once they've gotten into the tournament here over the last, 10 years or so. But you never know. Once you get in there, it's one and done, and you move on. So excited to see what Mansfield Christian does moving forward. And moving forward for us this week, this is what's coming up on the OH Report, our soccer schedule. We've got a really fun matchup, I think. Archbishop Alter in a rematch of the 2019 state championship match coming up here to Mansfield to take on Madison. How about that one?
I mean, Madison's schedule is just insane this year. They
Always,
still play
right?
this schedule that is absolutely ridiculous. So record-wise, Madison's not going to have a great record, but they're competing against the best opponents in the state. You look at their opponent win percentage, and it's absolutely insane. The teams that they have played this year, and I mean, they're all Final Four teams from all divisions all over, and so really difficult schedule for Madison. But that's the only way they're going to get better, and they know that. So it'll be a fun game.
And same for Ontario. Liberty Benton, even though they're Division III, they seem to be in the top 10 year after year after year.
Oh, absolutely. I think they've made the Elite Eight a couple years here, too. I mean, they can play, and they seem to just kind of keep bringing in athletes that just keep playing at a high level. And I think have taken this Mansfield Christian team out a couple times in pretty convincing fashion, if I'm not mistaken, in some of the tournament rounds as well.
All right, that's going to wrap up our coverage tonight here from Mansfield Christian, where the Lady Flames put up a nice fight, but it's Lexington, a victor 5-3 with an offensive explosion. I want to thank all of our generous sponsors for helping bring tonight's contest live and free to you fans, including Mechanics Bank, the Coney Island Diner, Mansfield Christian Schools, Charter Next Gen, and Park National Bank. For our amazing crew out here tonight on camera, we had Keaton Cooper down on the sideline doing his thing, Garrett Parlett with the top cam, Adam Thompson, our fabulous director and graphics maker. For Jesse Rider, I'm Brian Skowronski saying so long from Comstock Field.